I am very excited to introduce you to the Zig Ziglar Success Legacy Library. From personal experience growing up with Dad and just seeing him as a father, as a speaker, as an author, as a person, and also I've had the privilege of meeting so many people that he impacted. Many of the leading speakers and authors today, business leaders, were influenced and are still being influenced by his messages, by his wisdom, by his philosophy, that core statement, you can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. That is more true today than ever. People need hope and encouragement more today than they ever have. All you got to do is, check out the internet, go online, listen to the news, listen to people in the line at Starbucks. And it's amazing how many people are concerned about the future. They have these different things that are going on in their mind. They don't know what's up next. And the reality is the simple truths of life that are found in this series, this legacy series, are the things that make all the difference. It's about your relationships. It's about the way you see yourself. And it's about the goals that you set and the way you view the future. This Zig Ziglar Success Legacy Library is really a result of Dad's entire career. And I think you have to go back to the start to figure out how we ended up here. You see, in his early life, he was in sales, and he really struggled in the beginning. And then a wise person named P.C. Merrill spoke life and truth into him and gave Dad some principles. Well, after that, Dad believed it, and his sales career took off. In fact, he was immediately recognized in his organization of over 7,000 people as one of the top salespeople. And when that happens, no matter what business you're in, you immediately get elected to do training. So Dad's first start in training was in sales training, and it was sharing with others the principles, the ideas, the techniques, the tactics that he had learned and applied that made him successful. And as Dad grew in this, he realized this simple truth. And that is, you can take all the best skills in the world and put them on the wrong person, and it won't do any good. And so as Dad developed and he started to learn and see the response that people had, he realized that the first thing you had to do was develop the person from the inside out. They needed to have character and integrity and discipline. They needed to be motivated. They needed to have a specific goal-setting plan in place so that they could become the right kind of person. Then they had to have relationship skills so that they could work with others. Once you have that person, then you can put the technical skills on them, and they can do and achieve just about anything. And that's what this series is about. It's about understanding that skills are critically important, but unless the right person is employing those skills, it doesn't really matter. Dad had an amazing impact. His character was unquestioned. The impact that he had in other people's lives to help them become more, be more, do more, and have more is legendary. But, it wasn't until he passed away that we really understood the magnitude of the legacy that he left. We had over 13,000 comments on our Facebook page within 24 hours of the announcement. And through the months after that, one of the things that kept coming back to us was this, is people would send in a message or an email or a letter or a card, and the story was almost the same. It was, I heard Zig Ziglar, I heard your dad in 1978, 1994, 1986. And I was in a room and there were 10,000, 20,000 people. And then when it was over, I was inspired and I wanted to meet him. So I stood in line for 2 hours. And when I finally got to him to get that autograph, it was like I was the only person in the room. And for me, that's such a powerful story because it's going to be hard for anybody to ever think, golly, I could be Zig Ziglar on stage. But you know what? I believe that each person listening to this can be Zig Ziglar one-on-one. And that means that you can give somebody undivided attention, letting them know that you care about them. One of my good friends came to me, his name was Scott Schilling, and he said, Tom, I was backstage with your dad years ago, and I asked him, I said, Zig, how come when you speak to a large audience like this that probably 80-90% of your talk is exactly the same talk that you gave the last time? And Scott said, Tom, your dad just smiled at me, and he looked at me, and he said, Scott, the truth never changes.